What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today is a very special day. It is finally the day that we are going to be taking this thing on a drive, making sure everything's good before we can get it sold and get it out of here. As you guys can see, I have the coolant right here. Just waiting on some transmission fluid, which my dad's on his way home with right now. And then, oh yeah, and also the throttle body that I talked to you guys about swapping, because this is the wrong throttle body. So we have that on the way, transmission fluid, and then I got to put the coolant in, and then this car will be able to get out of the garage and we can go take it on a drive and make sure everything checks out for you guys. So stay tuned. Today's video is a big deal for me, hopefully you guys too, because this has been the first actual full series I've done on a car that we have worked on. So make sure you guys stay tuned so we can see this thing on the road. Okay, so if you guys remember from the last video, I was showing you how this throttle cable bracket wasn't gonna work because obviously it can't mount up like that. So what we have is this throttle body has the correct cable or the correct bracket on it. So this is obviously this is the only part we need. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off and get it on here. That way we can mount up these throttle cables, and which will obviously allow us to be able to drive the car, because you can't drive the car without being able to give it throttle. I mean, that goes without saying. But yeah, all we need is this bracket, and then throw some coolant in and transmission fluid, and then we will get this thing out of the garage and on the road driving once again. Alright guys, so we got the throttle cables back on. This is how it should look with the correct bracket. Have to bolt up the intake. I just realized that now. Gotta get these little hose clamps on. And then that should officially do or complete everything up here. Everything down there is good. We have the coolant about to go in, and then all that's left is transmission fluid. And then we can take this thing around the block and make sure everything checks out that we did. So let's keep going. Making some good progress so far. Alright guys, this thing is officially done. Everything is bolted. I got the intake back on, throttle cable's on, coolant is in, oil's in, transmission fluid's good. I was gonna go take it on a drive tonight, but you guys can tell it is pitch black outside, so I'm gonna wait to do that tomorrow. So I'll get a nice driving video for you guys on this thing, and we can diagnose any further problems it might have. But so yeah, that's gonna do it for at least tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow when we go take this thing on a drive and finally see what it's all about and how it sounds and if this motor is good. Alright, so we just took the Civic on a drive and no major issues as far as overheating. It goes in gear, in every gear fine. I got all the way up to 5th gear. Only thing is it does not go to redline when in VTEC, and when you rev it, if you give it full throttle, it kind of falls on its face and wants to die. So considering if we swap the throttle body or not, and yeah, it's pretty much the only problem is for some reason when you give it gas at an idle, it doesn't want to, you know, go up to redline. You guys will see that in the driving video that I will put in the next clip. But other than that, I mean, no major issues for doing an entire motor swap. I'm letting it cool down so I can see if it needs more coolant right now, and then decide if we swap the throttle body or not, depending on how it drives after having coolant in. And maybe, I don't know what else the issue could be besides swapping this throttle body to the other one that we have that will fit that same bracket, because as you guys know, that was the leading issue in getting this thing done, was this stupid little bracket right here. So if we do end up swapping it, I will let you guys know and we will go from there. Alright, so I'm in the middle of taking out this throttle body because we are going to actually clean it and see if that fixes our throttle issue. But we noticed another issue that's kind of very sucky. See, our driveway is covered in fluid. And if we look over here, it's gonna be hard to see for you guys, but got transmission fluid leaking everywhere. It's actually coming off of that guy right there. So that's gonna be the next issue we fix after this throttle body, which is very sucky because that means the whole axle has to come off and I have to take off this or take apart this whole passenger side once again. So, yep, never ending with this car. I swear, never ending. Okay, so before resolving that transmission leak, I'm going to let these little lines, you can't really see them, but I'm gonna let them, they have coolant in them, and obviously I just drove the car, so I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit, and then I will disconnect that and take this throttle body off and then clean it a little bit, put it back on and see if the idling issue is fixed so it doesn't idle so high, because it idles about like 2K RPMs ish, kind of up, kind of down sometimes. So I'm gonna clean that. Hopefully it fixes the idling issue, and then hopefully it allows the car to go all the way to redline in VTEC. And yeah, so gonna let it cool down for a minute and we will check back in a little bit. Alright guys, so it's been cooling down for a little bit. I do think it's good to go ahead and pull off those two little coolant lines down there, one right here and then one underneath the throttle body right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick, and then we should be able to pull this off and spray it down with some brake clean and see if that fixes our issue. Alright, so the last thing I'm gonna do is take off this IACV, otherwise known as intake air control valve, and I'm gonna clean everything inside of it to see if that should, if it is dirty and stuff, that could be the reason that the car is idling so high, and another reason it could not be running correct. So once I take this apart and clean it, hopefully that fixes the problem, and then I'll be throwing it back on and buttoning everything back up here for hopefully the final time, and then fix that transmission fluid leak I was showing you guys earlier. Alright guys, moment of truth. Let's see how it looks in here. I haven't seen it yet. I'm trying to get this to position correctly. Oh! Ooh, that's a little gunky in there. Can you guys focus? I'm sure that doesn't help. You can see there's some sort of buildup in there. So let's see if we can get that out and put it back together. This side looks pretty clean. So, should be good on this end. Let's just definitely get that clean. Alright guys, got the throttle body all clean and put back on. It's not on it, fully on, it's just sitting here. But I'm going to call it a night. I will be back tomorrow to put this all back together and hopefully fix that transmission leak. And then this thing will hopefully be 100% good, ready to go. That way we can get the next car in the garage. So, you guys are going to want to stay tuned because the next car is a very special car and I think it's an important car on this channel. So, I will see you guys tomorrow where we can hopefully finish this thing and get this thing out of here for good. Okay guys, another day of trying to get this car finished. I think today might be the day, as you guys know from a few seconds ago that you just saw, which was last night for me. I'm going to finish getting this on, and I just realized and figured out that we put the axle seals backwards and we're gonna have to actually switch those around, and then it should fix the leak on the transmission, so we should be good with transmission fluid going all over, so that shouldn't happen again. And hopefully after cleaning this last night, this resolves our idling and revving issue, and then this car can be done. And yeah, so let's continue at it and see if we can get this thing finished finally. Alright, so the sucky part about replacing these axle seals is that the whole axle obviously has to come back out, which we just did 2 days ago, I think. And it's my fault for putting them on the wrong side. I didn't know they were different sizes. So in order to get that fixed, we have to pull this intermediate shaft off, and then this axle as well as this side. So That's what we're starting to work on now, and then after we do that, everything should be buttoned up officially and we should be good. Alright guys, so we just finished getting everything done. I didn't really film under here just because it's kind of dark and tight space down there, but did get the axle seal switched, so now we're going to start it while it's up in the air and kind of let it go through the gears and just stay up in the air while rolling, just to make sure if there is a leak we can catch it before we go drive it around, so that way we can pinpoint exactly where it's coming from and make sure to fix it before losing all of our transmission fluid. But let's get this thing started and let's see how everything goes. Alright guys, we just got home from our little drive with this thing. Everything checks out fine. It doesn't seem like there's a leak underneath. I just checked that out and everything looks solid. Drives way better. So I'm glad this thing is finally done. So I'm not sure if you guys can see me, but that is going to do it for the EP3 content. I appreciate you guys staying and watching this little journey with this car. But yeah, say bye to this thing. I'm ready to see it go. This thing was not fun to work on. So many problems for no reason. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.